Hey Doc Weeze, how are you doing? You pulled another all-nighter. You sound like me like 5 years ago. Oh yeah, what'd you decide on? What are you gonna go with? I should probably put this in self-promo. People know. Yeah, you're pretty close. Pretty close to 5 years younger than me. SRPG battle system? Are you using SRPG Studio or are you using RPG Maker MV and just making a SRPG style battle system? Hey, City. No, I didn't make this intro screen. It's pretty tight though, huh? Dude, Pixel, what's up, my man? Bro, of course I remember you. I remember us playing Terraria before I started my channel on multiplayer. and I was telling you that you sounded like a streamer, and then you were like, you do too, or something like that, and kind of encourage each other to do something a little more productive. Trying to download a 12.5 gig file. Good morning, Skepsis. Hello, Kiki Games. Do you ever see yourself going back to a video format for first impression videos? Probably. It's not a permanent thing. You know, we're going to switch up the channel back and forth, and I'll probably be live streaming back to videos, live streaming back through the course of over the years. I don't know. You never know what the future holds, really. And I just kind of run with what's working and what my schedule allows me to do. And if the internet works so that I can live stream, you know, it doesn't always that hasn't always lined up for me in the past, you know. Like, I've had to do video because I was unable to live stream in the past for one reason or another. Just not having the space or privacy, or having the internet connection, but not at the same times. You know, everything has to line up to actually be able to do certain things like live streaming. Now with my $600 audio setup, I sure as hell hope I sound like a streamer. Dude, me too. I've dropped $1,000 into my audio setup. I've got a Blue Yeti Pro on one channel. It's right here. How's it going? And then I've got an AKG C3000B on the other channel. Oh yeah. And that's going into an analog 402V LZ4 Mackie amplifier, right? And then that's going out, it's going XLR in, and then it's going 1/4 inch out into an M-Audio analog to digital converter, which goes to USB into the computer. Oh, I forgot one step. Before it goes from the Mackie amplifier to the M-Audio audio interface, it goes into, I've got a couple of guitar pedals hooked up because they're stereo pedals, and I thought, why not give it a shot? So I've got, what is it called? TC Electronics. I've got a couple of stereo TC Electronics pedals. One is the Hall of Fame reverb, and the other is it's a chorus one, the green chorus one. I forgot the name. I don't want to go look at it right now. It's down here somewhere. Whatever. But anyway, I got 2 stereo pedals, then we go into the M-Audio interface, and then that goes in USB. Thanks for the host. I should probably take this cover off and turn on my lights. Let's go ahead and get this stream started. Yeah, so Pixel, so good to see and hear from you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the host. Hopefully your setup is good now. Hopefully my setup is good now. AT2020 XLR and new Helicon Gaming Go XLR mixer. Nice, nice. Yeah, see, I don't have any software running for it. It's just all hardware ran. Anyway, I'm going to jump over to the scene here and go to the live scene. How's it going, everybody? I'm Drifty from Driftwood Gaming. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you for coming. For those of you first time joining me, please consider following me on Twitch or subscribing to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DriftwoodGamingMV and twitch.tv/DriftwoodGaming. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, please hop over to Twitch sometime and give a follow if you have an account. That'd be awesome to hit that follow button. If not, it's okay. Do what you want to do. You're your own person. Today, we're going to be working on Natural Explorers. We normally stream 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. A little bit of a delay today, and I put that in the Discord. Links in the description below if you want to join the Discord. I let you guys stay up to date on what's happening, if there's any delays, if there's new stuff coming out, newest deals on Humble Bundles, all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of different things in the Discord that you might want to take advantage of. Links in the description below if you want to join us on Discord. So thank you so much for that. Today, Monday through Thursday, we normally work on Natural Explorers. This is an RPG Maker MV project that I'm working on to put out on Steam. And yesterday, we worked on this event, and we put together this event so that it'll let us convert one item into another item. And we're going to continue that process of making events for the rest of the the houses inside this little port town, and might do some artwork and A-Sprite, etc. I'm fielding questions. If you have questions about RPG Maker MV or any other engine for that matter, you could list them here or in the Discords as well. And I'll try to field them to the best of my ability. And if we don't know the answer, we'll try to find the answer. So once again, thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Skepsis says he really likes the live platform. Great for better interaction. I like it too. It's fun. I think I put out better work when I'm in a live setting. Is it easier to make an RPG with RPG Maker than other softwares like GMS2? Absolutely, Max. If you're looking for ease of use, you can't find any better ease of use than RPG Maker for making an RPG. Right now, if you're trying to do a platformer or like an action type of game or a shooter, maybe not RPG Maker, because you're going to find limitations there, and it'll be a challenge no matter what engine you choose to do some of those things. But if you're trying to make an RPG, then RPG Maker is the best choice, obviously, for ease of use. If you're trying to make a really fantastic stand-out-ish RPG that's not like the rest, then maybe you'll want to use a different engine. Maybe you don't even want to use an engine. Maybe you just want to code it in C++ and use libraries. But I would probably say if you're not going to use RPG Maker, go with GMS2 right now. Unity is a good option too if your computer's up to scratch and you're willing to put in the hours. Unity is every engine is a lot of work and a lot of time investment to get good scrubs. But Unity is definitely one of the more challenging ones. Unreal, very similar to Unity. Bearbot Gaming is now hosting me. Thank you so much for the host. Appreciate it, man. Ren Phoenix, what's up, dude? So we're dual streaming. We're on YouTube and Twitch. Most of my audience is on YouTube. Those of you who are on Twitch, thank you for coming. I'm trying to migrate some audience from YouTube over to Twitch. But whatever platform you enjoy, that's fine. Okay. I guess I should play test the last event we made. I remember finishing it up, and I think we had it. I think I had it fully tested. So what we're supposed to... Oh yeah, we already did. Okay, so I had treasure chest and the tracker event turned on, and so that everything would work. And we fully tested it, and then we ended the stream with saying, hey, it's done. This guy will now process logs and give you cut lumber. We didn't fully finish him because we have to look at the let's build a boat part of the game, right? So I guess I could continue working on that one to finish the woodworker. We finished the option for when we say process the lumber. But when we tell them to build us a boat, we haven't done that entire line yet. So we should probably get that set up. When we say build a boat, all he's basically doing is telling us the requirements for it. We haven't actually set that up. So he's not complete, only that first option. We ran out of time. So let's do the option when we say, we ask him to build us a boat so that we can unlock that, that method of travel. Thank you so much for the follow, Bearbot Gaming. Appreciate it. He says, howdy, my internet is lagging like crazy, but hope your stream is going great and keeps going great. Likewise, I'm sorry about your internet. I've lowered the bit rates to 2500 on my streams so that it's more, it's easier for slower connections and for like multitasking. If you're downloading while you're watching, it shouldn't lag. I'm recording at 1080p and downscaling to 720p, and instead of 60 frames per second, which we were doing last week and for the past 3 months, we're going 30 frames because really we don't need 60 frames to look at this. You know, like this is not like high action first person shooter. So 30 FPS 720p is more accessible to more people, so I've gone with that because people aren't going to come to my stream to see 1080p 60 FPS. If it's going to cause loading times and lagging, but they will come to the stream if it's actually a decent quality and it won't lag, right? So hopefully that is what's going on now. The option to pause the stream or hop to any point of the stream just makes YouTube superior, in your opinion, says Kiki Gaming Studio. You can even pause and catch up by watching at 1.25 speed. That is a feature that YouTube has over Twitch, and I agree. Twitch has a few other things that makes it so that the creators will want to be on Twitch more. Like, say, for example, the amount of money that Twitch will take compared to the amount of money that YouTube will take is really crazy. Twitch is not going to take much of your money. If you do PayPal donations, you have to pay a transaction fee, and I think it's like a small percentage. It's like 1% plus a transaction fee. So if someone donates like $10, you're going to get like 9 something, right? But if you say super chat $10, YouTube is taking 30% plus an Apple, I don't know why Apple's involved, but it is, transaction fee. So say somebody super chats $10, I barely get like $6 of that. But if somebody were to PayPal donate $10, I'll get like $9.20 something, or $30 something, or $9.40 something, right? So I would definitely want to put my audience where their donations will actually go to me more instead of to the services and the banks. Drifty has transcodes. Oh yeah, I actually became, but only on gaming. It's weird. You can join the membership. I got membership thing for so you can get emotes, but you have to go to gaming.youtube.com/driftwoodgamingmv. People can pick what resolution works for them. How's that? City Pixel does that work on Twitch now? Because the last time I checked, it didn't do that on Twitch. Like somebody said that you had to have partner, and I'm only affiliate, and so I don't know. I don't know if that's actually a thing. The Unpro Pro, thank you for coming to the stream. How you doing, man? Not here for long, but hello. You guys should become a member and get access to the emojis. To type the emojis, you do a colon and you type Driftwood G. And then you can do Driftwood GT, Driftwood G Ooh La La, Driftwood G Crown, or Driftwood G Logo. And if I get one more member, I can add another thing. Also, we have a stream bot in the top right corner. If you follow, you deal damage to the stream boss. And if you follow, subscribe, donate, throw cheers, all of that deals damage to the stream boss. If you deal the final blow to the stream boss, you become the new stream boss. And when you defeat a stream boss, you gain more HP than that boss. So if Damian Floyd goes down, he'll probably beat you and go back up. But if he does go down, the person who beats him will go to 3,200 HP, etc., etc. Thanks, Unpro, appreciate it. Have a good one. I hope you have a fantastic day. Rin says it only works in certain circumstances. If you have enough viewers, you can get transcoding, so viewers can select the resolution. For the past 3 months, I've been streaming 1080p 60 FPS, but unnecessarily so at 3800 bitrate. I've lowered the bitrate to 2500 and downscaled to 720, 30 FPS, because it's really all I need, and it makes it more accessible to more slower connections. They handpick a very small amount of affiliates. That's great. That's amazing that I was... Whoever did that, thank you. So what are we doing today, Natural Explorers? Fusion, thank you for being here. Appreciate you keeping me on track. We are going to design the section of this NPC that builds us a boat. So we're going to use some doodads, a Yanfly plugin, to draw some more stuff on the map inside the port town right here. We've got these spots, and we're going to put a conditional switch on some of the doodads so that they'll only appear after we've built the boat. And as well as the events also will only appear after we've paid the guy 2,000 coins. We'll change the number probably, and the correct amount of cut wood, I think is what it's called, cut lumber. We've designed the first part yesterday, and today we're going to do this part. So let's see where we're at. Right now he's going to say, you're looking for a boat? Ah, well, I'm a little short on supplies, but if you can bring me 200, an arbitrary number for now, of item icon 78, which is the cut lumber, I'm sure I could put together a small sloop to get you where you need to be going. I'd only charge a small labor fee of this much right here. So this is the icon for our gold. This is referencing the symbol we're using in the database, and this is the amount of arbitrary number we're throwing in there to charge the player. Which we can change at any point in time. And we're using a Galv's message style plugin, so we're using this code right there. And we're using another plugin from Yanfly, the message core, so that we can do this code, which lets us pop out the name and change the way that it looks. So after he tells us this, we're going to present the player with some choices, so let's do that. Pay the price. We can say, pay for a boat. Or we can say, not right now. We'll default to pay for a boat because if the player doesn't have, obviously the player's going to have to do this to proceed throughout the story. So we'll default to that, and if they don't have the requirements, we need to check to see if they don't have that stuff. Are you doing your own drawing? I've done a lot of my own drawings in Sprite, but there's no way I'm doing it all. I'm just one person, and I want to get this out this year sometime. So I'm definitely using free assets from RPG Maker web forums. Whenever you take assets from the internet, make sure you take the names down of the people and make sure they're actually, you know, CC0123. They're Creative Commons that you could actually use for free in a commercial game. Same thing with the plugins or any assets. So I'm doing that sort of thing as well. And if we go to game open folder, it'll open the root directory, and you can see that, of course, I'm going to forget people's names constantly, so I have to make a text file, and that's what I've been doing. I've been keeping a text file up right here of everybody who's contributed to the project so far. So as I add more resources from opengameart.org or RPG Maker web forum or other sources, I take the names and the authors and I put them inside the text file so I can copy paste this into the project's credits by the end of it. But absolutely, I do want to do a lot of my own art. I've done a little bit of it, mainly putting together animations using existing art, putting together icons, editing the icon sheet with Sprite, adding some of my own character images, but a lot of my character images are not animated, they're kind of static. But I do what I can. So when we say pay for a boat, we need to check for conditions, right? We need to see, does the player have 200 of this item? Does the player have 2,000 coins? So let's make these conditional statements. It's under flow control. We'll make a conditional branch, and we are going to check to see if the player's money is greater than equal to 2,000. We actually want to put an else handler here to let the player know that this is what's stopping them from having it if they don't. So in the case that they don't, we're going to say /pop0 to bring the text pop balloon to right there at the location of this event above it. And then we'll do /n and put the name of the character. And it won't show this in the text. It'll just do the codes and pass it, so we can actually type further. We'll say Also, we gave this guy an accent, right? He's sort of like a pirate-esque, weird, mixed accent. It looks like you're a bit short on the /G. We'll put the icon as well. To do the icon, you do a \I, and then you open up brackets. And I'm using 832 for the icon that I'm using for gold. And this is all inside of your icon set.png. Inside your game's IMG system folder. And I'm using message core from Yanfly. Looks like you're a bit short on the coins side of things. Come back when you be able to pay me. He's gonna have a weird mixed accent. In the case that they have the coins, we need to check to see if they have 200 of an item. Now the game doesn't necessarily let you do this with a conditional branch right here. It only checks to see if the player has a single one. So we need to do something in order to make this work. We're going to use a variable, and we're going to control, where did I put it? Because I'm using one already. So we're going to use wooden log count again, except instead of using wooden logs, we're going to just store inside that variable the number of, what am I checking for? Cut lumber that the party has in their inventory. So this is so that we can instead check this variable to see if it's high enough. So we're setting the variable wooden log count to the number of cut lumber we have, and then we can do a conditional branch saying, hey, is this variable greater than or above, greater than equal to 200? And we'll do an else branch as well here. So in the case that they don't have that, we can let them know what's stopping them from getting a boat. Looks like you're a bit short on the item icon 78 side of things. And we should probably customize this so that it doesn't just say the exact same thing. I'm just going to say ye be lacking thee. Ye be lacking. Ye be lacking the cut lumber. And instead of, 832, we use item icon for 78. When you use II instead of just the icon, it's using the icon for the item that's stored in the database JSON file for 78, which is cut lumber in this case. Come back when you have the supplies. All supplies you need. Alright, so we've enabled our handlers for the else's. In the case that they have 2,000 gold and they have the 200 wood, we need to allow the boat to be made. So this can actually be very simple, but I want to add flash and make it look like he's actually doing something. So we're going to do like what we did with the other one, make some movement event going on, and I could actually do the same thing again. I can kind of copy paste this whole movement thing right here. If I would have thought about the entire event from the beginning, I would have made this check to see all of this at the beginning. And then once you talk to the guy, you move your character, then the options are presented. But in this case, I'm going to Frankenstein it together and copy paste the movement code, because it's going to save me a lot of time in the long run. So we're going to start right here from if the player is facing, and we're going to take all of the movement code, and we're going to go and copy this and paste this for the option for when he's building the boat. Bang. Also, we need to set the number of wooden log count back to 0 at some point. After the else handlers for sure. So we'll put it right here. Control a variable of the wooden log count. Set it back to 0. So where does this one actually, oops. Where does this one actually start from? So if this is all on encapsulation here. So if the player has okay, so this is going to be set back to 0. Whenever after we're presented with show choices, which is this is what it should be. Of course, we're setting it at the beginning before we're checking it. So you know we've got like a contingency, right? We're setting it before we use it, and we're setting it back to what it should be after we're done using it in every instance. Therefore, it should never present us with the wrong number when we check it. And this is definitely a contingency. And this is so that I can save a variable, right? I'm reusing the same variable multiple times for different purposes, but I'm resetting it, and it's like it's being checked here, it's being reset, and then loaded with this number, and then reset, and later on in the event, depending if we choose something different, it's being loaded with another number, etc., etc. If we say not right now, nothing's going to happen. And when we say nothing right now from the first option, also nothing's going to happen. So after he does his little move around, right here, we need him to say something. So we'll show a text. Pop 0. Name receive. Also, we'll play a sound effect in a second. Confirmation. Like a victory music, actually. Scatcat, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it, City. Pixel, thanks for coming, man. It's super cool. It's good to hear from you. Hi, Blitz. What's up, man? Doc Weeze asks if I have thought about my game cycle, like Explorer, Capture Node, Beat Dungeon. You mean like the core game loop? Yeah, I've thought about it. It's basically going to be you can go in any direction you want. You don't even have to battle for the most part if you don't want to. I want to make it so that economically you can win the game without using much of the battle system. Probably I want the player to see it so they know it's there. But then if they want to like not use it as much, the game could still be possible to win and progress without actually going through the battle system. What about your competitors? Right. You know, the AI on that is probably going to be very linear. Their progression, Vincent, is going to be based on the number. See, at the beginning of the game, I'm setting a hard clock. And every frame of the game that goes by, not counting time spent in menus, like the main menu manager, or inside of battles. Time for frames basically stop during battles and main menu navigation so that it's like kind of a pause mode. But every other frame of the game, one is being added to a variable. 60 times a second, exactly. So this is going to give me enough control where I can say, by this number, the AI will have these abilities. Or the AI will be able to do this. Or I can trigger things to happen based on the number of time that's passed, not counting for in-battle time and in-menu time. So the AI will probably be kind of predictable, very predictable. but that's going to let me have a lot of control over them, really. So is the end game beating them, or is it more freeform? Can you still play the game after you buy out all your competitors? Yes, I want the game to be like New Game Plus-ish, so that you don't actually have to... You're going to see the end credits, but then it's like, you want to save your game, and if you save it, then you just keep playing after the credits. And there'll be no more like storyline progression, but they'll be able, the systems and the numbers will be able to be expanded upon. Like, I definitely want it to be... If you think about Final Fantasy X, right? And after you could beat the game very quickly after you go through the story, but you could also spend another 50 hours. I'm not saying this is going to do that. I'm just saying the idea. You can spend a whole lot of extra time after you beat the game in the arena, capturing all the monsters, unlocking the new species of monsters. Those types of systems that are post-storyline, I want that in the game. I'm going to do my best to get as many of those things in the game that I can, so that after you beat the storyline, the game still has systems that you can expand upon and accomplish, I don't know, that you can still play, basically. That ought to do her, is what Wasif will say. And then I'm going to need him to walk outside of the map. And then yeah, erase event. So when we come back, he'll be there again, but he's basically going to erase event. Let's see if she'll float. So from this point, he's going to be right here, and the player is going to be right here by movement event. So I'm going to have him walk around and go outside and erase event, so that you'd have to leave the map and come back for him to be here. But when you go outside, you'll see your boat there floating now. So I need to make him move. I can go left. I'll make him go up, right, 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 down, right, right, down, 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 down. Erase event. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, he's just going to go over and down. Up, right, 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 right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, 4 to the right, and 6 down. 1 up, 4 right, 6 down. Easy. So where were we at? Let's see if she'll float. New movement route. On this event, move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We say OK. We're going to erase event. Oh no, we need to do a switch statement first. We need to turn on a switch so that we can use it in the Doodads plugin to show the boat. So we're going to make a switch, control switch, and this switch is going to be basic boat unlocked. And then we erase event. At some point, should we do the fanfare right here, or should we do the fanfare when we get in the boat? When we get in the boat, yeah, because we're still like, and this is it gonna work, right? But we need to make a new sound effect. I'm gonna risk it today. Last time I loaded Audacity and it made me sound like a robot, but I'm gonna try it. Samurai John says, hey Drifty, I see you're using Galv's pop message system. Do you know if there's a plugin that exists to allow for pop messages in battle? I saw HimeWorks made one, but do you know of any other? Yeah. Samurai, it's called Yanflei's Gab window, and it works in combat as well. And that's what I use to show pop-up messages in combat. This is Yanflei's Gab window. Pray to the Audacity gods. Yeah, I'm going to just hope that it doesn't sound like a robot. Last time I had to close OBS and reopen OBS. I hope that doesn't happen. But I was using a different version of OBS too. Now I'm using Streamlabs OBS. So let's see if that actually makes a difference. If it's any... I'm thinking it was a weird fluke because I've done it before. I've recorded audio while I'm live streaming before. And it's worked. But we need to make some fanfare, some ME. We also need to make some BGS, some background sound effects. No problem, Samurai John. Just check the help file. I can give you a quick reference for the Gab window. You're going to be doing stuff like this. You're going to be doing plugin commands. And you'll put Gab text, and then you can say whatever you want in the Gab text. But then that's just like loading a queue of commands, and then you actually have to say force Gab or show Gab in order for them to play. And I like force Gab better because it erases everything behind and you can time it better. If you have too many things in the queue, it'll be like boom, and then it waits, and then boom again, and then maybe the timing doesn't fit quite right. It's easier if you can just force it to go whenever you want it, you know. So that's what I do. I'll set it up to say, show this text, and then also I'll show, you can say Gab sound and play, you can cue a sound effect to play as the message pops up, and then you do force Gab to actually make it go. It's like, I'm going to tell it to do this text and this sound with whatever other things you want, and then force Gab is like, tells it to go. So to do those three things, you'll need 3 plugin commands. You'll need Gab text, and then what you want it to say, Gab sound, and then the sound effect, and then force Gab, and that's all at the end, right here on plugin command under advanced. But that's the basic, like, bare minimum. There's a whole lot more that it can actually do, and you can change where it's at on the screen in the plugin parameters. Really, really cool plugin from Yanflei. There's a lot of them. Yeah, thanks for that, DocWeez. Let me know when I load Audacity if it really it's like sounds really crazy and weird. It's like immediately just stop talking, load, close OBS, reopen OBS. That's what happens because it's just like whoa, abrasive to the ears. Where are we at? We need to test to see if this event works right. In order for that to work right, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to test all of the conditions that we don't have all the items. So we're just going to do some quick start treasure chest, and then we'll delete these. This one's going to give us the 2,000 coins we need. This one is going to give us the cut lumber we need. We'll go in here and change the number to 200. We may need to turn on a player tracker again. Temp, Xer, delete me. And this is just going to turn on a switch, control switch, the player tracker. This turns on the common event that I have running, so we'll make this an auto run, and then we'll just go turn self switch. A with a new page that says A, so that it runs once and then it doesn't do anything else. We'll delete this event when we're done testing. That's just going to turn on this common event for the player tracker. Where is it at? Which stores the player's map X, map Y, map ID, region information into variables every frame of the game so that we can tell where our player's at and control things based on where the player's at. So when we check for what direction he's facing. We also check to see if he's at this location, at that location, and we can give him movement commands based on where they're at, and that's in there. So we need that so that we can store these variables. To be honest, for this event, we don't need the player tracker since we're checking up, down, left, right, and we know where the event is going to be. It's just, like I said, a contingency. And the reason why it's still in there is because I designed it first, and then Ren Phoenix gave me a better idea. So I just put that idea on top of mine, and since they both work together, I left them together, since it's just going to be for more contingency and less likely that it'll mess up by running a movement event. Like, say he gets off one or something, it won't move the player. It could still lock up the game if it gets off at all. But now we need to test to see if that works. Also, let's do the next thing. So in the port town, let's bring the player out here. Or you know what? Let's test the first part, and then we'll actually add the ship in. Cajun One, what's up, dude? How you doing? Talk to this guy. Build a boat. You're looking for a boat, eh? Well, I'm a little short on supplies, but if you can bring me 200 cut lumber, I'm sure I could put together a small sloop to get you where you need to be going. I'd only charge a small labor fee. If we say not right now, nothing happens. Good. Pay for a boat. It looks like you're a bit short of coin. A little bit short on the coin side of things. Come back when you're able to pay me. Alright, so we got our coins. We'll say build a boat. We say pay for it. Ye be lacking the cut lumber. Come back when ye have all supplies you need. We get the cut lumber. And we tell them, oops, nope, not that one. Build a boat. And we say pay for it. He should get his tools, start banging away on things, put his tools back and come over here and say, there you go, that ought to be all of them. I just noticed a problem. I put my treasure chest where he's going to be walking. You obtained 200 cut lumber. Wait, what? Wait, what? What did I do? A couple of errors, really. Okay, we need to move these way out of the way so that when he starts to walk over and go down. Okay, wait, let's go to build a boat and look at it, because I did copy-paste some stuff from my other event. From the same event, another part of the event. We say build a boat. La-di-da, he moves around, he does his stuff. Wood chopping. Oh, I see where the problem is. We jumped to the label, which has been copy-paste. You can't have two things that are the same label. Okay, I need to basically delete this part where we have the second jump to label thing. Here we go. This is all the second. We copy pasted sections that have label, which we can't put that in. So what we need to do is maybe yeah, that's interesting. What we need to do is kind of take the entire jump to label section and put it at the top Oh, all I have to do is rename the label to a different label. What am I thinking? Easy, easy. Okay. We can copy this. This is fine. This is fine. It's badly written code because it's called redundancy. But, you know, we already have it. It'll take longer to redesign it since I already made it. So before all of the move events, after we've controlled our variables, if we have all the things, we paste this in here. But we need to change this label to move player from top to, from bottom to, from left to, from right to, and then change these labels to be from top to, from bottom to, from left to, and from right to. Now it'll do what it's supposed to. I hope, but let's test it. You got your lumber hammered. You got drunk lumber. Process wooden logs, build a boat. We're looking for a boat, pay for the boat. We're short on the coins. Let's get the coins. Hey baby, how's your day going? Tease Jams is my wife, everyone. So you know. We're short on the lumber. Let's grab the lumber. Build a boat. Pay for the boat. That ought to do her. Let's see if she'll float. Now it works. Good so far. That's good. It was very slippery out there today. I was worried. I've been worried. So we go out, and now that we're here, he should have turned on a switch if I did that event right. Let me look at that event. At this point, let's see if she'll float. We do the move event. He erases, which just doesn't delete him. It just removes him from, removes the event until we come back into the, so when we come back into the house, he'll be there again. Basic boat unlocked is on. So from the port town, we're going to do this inside the game. This is the doodads plugin. We press F10, and now we can place doodads. Let's see if there's the... There might already be the boat inside of a doodad. If there's no boat inside the doodad, we'll just export an image. Vehicles. Not those. Water? Animated? No. World? Tools? No. Pictures? No. Objects? Outdoor? Build boats according to their resistance, and for that you would need different types of wood. Cajun1 with a couple of cheers. Thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just going to need to grab a boat sprite and turn it into doodad, says Will Black, and I agree. That's probably what we're going to do. But I'm checking first to see if we already have one. Machines. It's just going to be a little dinghy. I called it a sloop, so... which would be perfect for what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to have to add a doodad. So I'm going to leave this running for a second. Avery has a boat. Let's hop on over to RPG Maker, Maker Web Forums, boat images. I'll type in Avery. And images isn't good to search for because you just get Google images. So I'm going to say RPG Maker Web Forums boat Avery. You guys probably don't want to stare at an empty screen. Okay. Tiles. Let's look for some stuff. What's in here? Let's look at some assets. These are Avies, not Averys. I think they're different, right? It's amazing how many free resources there are for RPG Maker. That's another reason why I would highly recommend it. The community is extremely good at sharing stuff. And a large majority of it is absolutely free. Just mention the person you got it from. Okay, so let's just try... Searching the forums, yeah, it's sort of easier to just search Google and then let them find the thing you're looking for. Boat... We're looking for RPG Maker Web, RPG Maker MV Boat Sprite. Boat Sprites. The reason why I don't want to go to Google Images is it's hard to find the author. The forums are really good at referencing their sources. Pirate ship and sea vessels. Let's go with the sea vessels. What's going on here? Okay. I don't want to not see what you guys are saying here, so let me open these back up, keep these going. I'm not looking for a huge ship. Well, actually I am. So I would like to take that too for later on, because we're going to repeat the same process in another town. Make a bigger town with more NPCs and different resources and higher costs, but the same thing happens for the ship. So later on, we're going to need to do the same thing, but for right now, we actually need a small little dinghy or a sloop or a little boat. Oh, I know where there's one. I actually already have it. Let me close this. In the tile set. Now all I have to do is export this as a doodad. So let me figure out what I'm looking for first. I'm going to go to tile set. This is the first seed material tile set DLC on Steam. Very, very good tile set. I like it. It's currently my favorite. I wish they would make more FSM stuff. Right now there's only a forest one and a town of beginnings one. I would love to get, like, of course that one has a lot of caves and stuff. I would like to get a world map FSM. That would be baller. So we're using the Town of Beginnings outside. This is on E. So for E, we are referencing FSM Town01_E. Alright, so let's go to Photoshop. Let's open up inside of Drive E. Let me locate the directory. RPG Maker. MV, Natural Explorers, IMG, Tile Sets, FSM. underscore outside or is it FSM Town 01 underscore E? I think it's that one. What? Is it not going to let me open it? Oh, did I try to open the text? I can brain good. Make sure you open the text in Photoshop. Here we go. So let's zoom in. I'm going to take the grid, put on the grid. And try to make it as zoomed in as possible, like without a lot of extra space, so that moving around is easier. So I'm going to copy this, go to a new image, paste this in here, get rid of the background layer so we have a transparent, turn off the grid. I'm going to file, save as a .png. Now JPEG is a smaller file size, but it doesn't store alpha data. So if you save as JPEG, the game, first of all, the engine probably won't read it, right? And if it does, it'll show black where there's transparency or a color where there's transparency. So you have to use .png. We're going to put it inside the IMG doodads folder somewhere. And we're going to call it FSM boat left. We'll call it boat face left. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's go back here and do the same thing for the boat that's facing right. Copy this, put it in a new file, paste it in, delete the background layer, save it as .png. The same thing, but we're going to call it right. Right. Let's do this 2 more times. Copy this, new, paste it in, delete the background layer, save it as PNG, face up, and finally one for the facing down. Cool. Once we've added those, they should immediately be... I'm going to close out of the doodads thing to reload it to see if it actually needed it to be that way. It should immediately be there. And it is. Perfect. So we're going to put in the face left boat. Right about there. Or maybe we'll put it, yeah, we'll put it like right here. Awesome. We need to make a specific condition on this. So we're going to edit the doodad. We're going to edit this one. And we're going to require that it have a switch be turned on. So if you go down to switch, you can see that a list of switch will populate. And we're going to look for basic boat unlocked is on. That's our requirement. So we have to say accept settings, return to the list, finish our edit, save and close. Now this boat will only be here if that switch has been turned on. So let me reload the game now. And if we go outside, The boat should not be there. The boat is not there, right? No boat. But let's get the boat built and make sure that it works all together. Build a boat. We've got all the stuff, pay for the boat. He does this little move event. Wouldn't a facing down boat be better in this situation? Maybe it would. So he's gonna walk on out. And we go over here. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Let me place the doodad. The only thing I don't like is the boat isn't animating. I'm gonna have to just accept that. I also don't like how it's very jagged. But, and then there's a million things I don't like, but whatever. What we're going to do is edit the doodad. The first one, we're just going to remove it. So we'll say delete doodad. And we're going to edit this one and do the same thing we did with the other one, putting the switch condition. Accept settings, return to list, finish our edit, save and close. So the same thing, we tested it works. So now we need to let the player decide if they want to disembark. Do they want to get on the boat? And we can let them get on the boat from here or here. I think it would make sense to give them these two tiles. So, yeah, that works. Say OK, save the game. Will Black message me a link in Discord that gives a couple of ship options? Heck yeah, man. Let's see what you linked me. Commissions, vehicle sprites, needed, paid work. I don't see any pictures. Oh, okay, they're at the bottom. They're all animated. That's cool. I mean, I don't know if I would pay for that. I would consider using it, maybe. Just because it's not the default one. The default one looks better, to be honest, but it's default. So, I mean, you want to go that extra step and not use default stuff if you can. It looks really good, but I don't know if I can pay for this. Is he asking for... Is he saying commissions? His paid work section? $43.99? Is he trying to charge $44 for a Sprite? Or is he just asking for the price? I don't have time to fully read all of it. I'm going to keep that. I have that link in Discord. I'll check it out after the stream. I'm definitely not going to pay him $44 for his Sprite. I'd make it myself. He's asking people what's a fair price for his work, and I think, and I'm not trying to devalue anybody, I'm just saying the number of things you need, I can't drop $44 on one Sprite. It's crazy. Some sprites, you will though. If you need that, and that's a key character, and you need that, I can't justify that. Maybe your project can. So this isn't a never pay this for that situation. In my situation, I can't do that. Can't pay $44 for a boat sprite. So now we need to allow the player to unlock the ship and show the fanfare music. So let's make the event. We can make it right here, and this will be disembark, and it'll be the same thing. Yeah, like a standalone sprite. You do well selling stuff for $5, you know. Just have a lot of standalone things, or like a pack for like $20 or $30. You know, make it a DLC thing. Put it on Steam. Drop 100 on it. You'll get that return if you sell. That's the way I would go. Really need to do that as an artist. It's so hard as an artist, and I kind of feel, but you know, I grew up thinking I was going to be a musician, and good luck trying to make money doing that. It's easier than it's ever been, but it's still incredibly hard to make money as a musician. So, you know, so I picked another lucrative field of solo game dev. Lots of money there. YouTube, oh yeah, lots of money there. Gosh. But you know what? I like my life choices. I like what I do for a living. And if you follow the money, I don't know if you'll be happy. You gotta do what you love. This is going to be a simple show text. Actually, we don't need a show text, do we? It's going to just say disembark. Stay put. If the player says disembark, first of all, there needs to be some fanfare for the first time through. Like, you got the boat, you did the thing, right? But this will be the simple event that says disembark, and if they say yes, how do I want to handle this? We need to do a screen transition. The player also needs to have the world map unlocked for, like, the boat needs to be unlocked right here on the world map. So the position will be set right here for the boat. So we'll transfer the player to town on the world map, like directly on town, because it won't trigger unless we walk back onto it. And then we can have the boat right there, unlocked. I know what we'll do. We'll put this guy, let's see, actually we wanted to put it right here, didn't we? Right here and right here? Or no, right here and right here. This tip wasn't, okay. So we'll put the guy right here. We used Wasif for the woodworker. And he's going to have an auto run that takes place. Wasif. Show text, pop 0, name of Wasif. it looks like she'll float. It looks like it looks like she'll do the job. Congratulations, mate. You got yourself a boat. Come back anytime if you needing some wood cut. Let's give him a face. Here's where we do the fanfare. Play music effect. Party member joins. So here's where we need to put up Audacity. We're not going to use this one. We're going to do a music effect right here. The boat in the town reminded me of the guy who put a yacht in a pond almost as big as it. Yeah, the boat in the starting town. That was just a joke, but I'm leaving it there now. Okay, we need to make, before I do that, I need an idea. What's our fanfare for the boat? I need to make some sound effects myself. I also need to do a sound effect, background sound for like rainy, kind of like wind type of thing. So I'm going to have to process audio, but I'm thinking I'll do that vocally. But for the fanfare, I need to do something like, I don't know. I need to make some sort of like, just little chord progression or something. I did the others with ukulele. But what if I just go like... something like that. Okay, hold on. I gotta pause the Octopath Traveler soundtrack. Alright, we're gonna load Audacity. Wish me luck. Hopefully we don't sound like a robot. So I'm just gonna do a little chord progression thing. Hello? Do I sound like a robot? Does the audio still work? Did I bork everything by loading Audacity? Okay, so let me listen to this. Okay, cool. Let me get this sounding a little bit louder. Normalize this. The trick that you use when processing audio is you normalize to 0, but you're going to use a limiter to -3 decibels. So this is important. -3, no more than that. And you normalize back to 0, and then you limit again. You just repeat the process until you have the correct volume levels. Normalize and limit. It's a simple trick. The more you do it, the more you're losing some of those inflections. But sometimes you need to get the audio level right. So you just got to clip a little bit. And instead of clipping a lot, you normalize, limit to bring out those inflections every time you normalize. You're bringing the volume up. If you do this enough times, you'll eventually have a giant homogenized, no dynamic at all. We don't want that. I just want it to be a little bit better. I kind of feel like I could do that better, though. Like, that was, like, sloppy. Okay, hold on. Let me just open up a new one. Let me try that again. Also, we're going to do fade ins and fade outs. So I'm going to clip the beginning, clip the... Actually, I don't want to clip that. I'm just going to fade this little section out. So we're going to do a fade out right there, and then we're going to do a very quick fade in. Fade in. Select the entire thing, normalize that, and limit this just a couple of times this time. Normalize. This is an acoustic electric. I could plug it in, but I'm being a little bit lazy right now. You still hear that scoop, but I don't know what to do about that. These strings are rough and new. Alright, so I'm going to just say this is our music, our Victory ME. So I'm going to export this audio as an OGG. So I'm going to call this folder sound effects, my custom assets folder, things that I've recorded myself. This will be Victory or Unlock ME, Unlocked Thing Music Effect. Alright, yeah, and we'll just give it a number arbitrarily. This is an Unlocked Thing Music Effect 1. And we're just going to export that. Now I need to open up the game folder. I need to go to where I saved it, inside of Custom Assets, Sound Effects. We're going to copy this OGG, go back into our project. Let's put on this for now. Open the folder, go into Audio, put it in the ME, paste this, and I'm going to rename it to make sure that it's in the right spot. Even though there's only 3, it won't matter. I mean, there's only 3, so it won't matter, but I just, out of consistency and a naming convention, just do that. Or I do that anyway. So it should be available now when we look for ME. Right. And we'll test that out. We can also change the pitch on it if we want to. Albrick Amethyst says, is it possible to make a battle scene with just events and variables? Because I don't know anything about Java. Well, Java and JavaScript are 2 different things, so you won't be using object-oriented Java, you'll be using JavaScript, which is a scripting language. But I believe you, right? Yes, you can make a battle scene and all your events with no programming needed. It's a very, very good engine in that its simplicity is there. You don't need to know how to code anything. And you can make action sequencing. Well, action sequencing in combat, you'll need to learn pseudocode, which is just like words and numbers, like names of your sound effects and stuff, that are used inside a plugin. RPG Maker MV's battle system doesn't have any sequencing built in, but there's a plugin from Yanfly called Action Battles. What is it called? Battle Sequence Packs. The Battle Engine Core and Action Sequence Packs 1, 2, and 3. These plugins will let you make sequences inside combat. So you can do an in-combat battle scene, or if you don't want to do even pseudocode, you can make a battle scene that's actually just a movement event sequence, like a move sequence with play animations inside the event editor. So it depends on how you want to do it, but you can go right to the basic on the map, on scene map, makes characters jump and move around and play animations and flashings and all that stuff. Animation. Absolutely, you do not need to know any code, Albert. It helps though if you do. If you dip your toes in that water, that pool of JS. The fanfare should be done with kazoos. You're right, the Cajun one. I need to buy a kazoo. Devin Scott, dude, what's up, man? I'm sorry. Miss you, dude. No robots. That's good, Skepsis. I'm scrolling up a bit. To the question I asked yesterday is weird, but can experience be stored in a variable? Yes, it can. Depends on how you want to do it. Like when you're going to award experience, you can instead increase a variable, and then when you want to actually like give experience, you go to change experience somewhere. Change experience. You can say who gets the experience, whatever person or entire party, and you can give the operation increase or decrease, and you can use a variable right here to change it, right? To add or subtract based on the variable. And how you store experience into the variable is just like controlling a variable. Say this is going to be my experience one, right? And I want the party to gain 1,000 experience. Well, I would just add 1,000 to that variable, and then change experience. And when you give it to the party, you use that variable, and you show level up. It's all optional right there. The problem I was speaking about yesterday, Devin, was I'm not 100% sure how you take the experience from... Now that I think about it, I do have an idea. How you take the experience from fighting and then award that to a variable, but I know now how you would do that. You would go to your enemies and give them 0. Change your experience to 0. Then in the troop events, you would make a condition that checks to see if enemies, whatever, HP is 0 or below. The moment that the enemy's HP becomes equal to or less than 0%, then you just add to that variable. You would go to your XP variable, and then you would add experience to that variable. And then, whenever you want to award experience, say add a trainer, you can just control experience, change experience there based on this variable. So the enemies give no experience except for what you're awarding upon when they die by changing a variable inside troop events. So yesterday, I wasn't sure how to do this. I guess and I didn't think about it, it just came to me right now. I guess you asking me the question yesterday subconsciously made me think about it, so when I thought about it again today, I just knew how to do it. It's fantastic. It's crazy how our brains work, and that we're presented with a challenge, and if at first we don't see a solution to that, we can go to sleep and wake up, and then we just know a solution to that. Because our mind subconsciously unravels these problems and finds solutions subconsciously. We don't actively think about it, but our brain is still fixing and finding solutions to them while you're sleeping. So thank you for asking me yesterday. We found it out. One of the methods that you can do that. It's more than one way to skin a catfish. You looked into Galv's and it's sort of close. Yeah, Galv has a plugin for it, so that might be the thing you want to do. But this method would probably work. Alright, I got a little derailed. What was I doing? This does not need to exist right here. We can get rid of this. Okay. Okay. Delete this and delete this and delete this. And we can remove this event. And we're doing this. And we created the music effect for the unlocked a thing. This one I'll probably do vocal. I just need like a... It's raining, like... Like that, right? So let's go back, since we have Audacity loaded, we might as well get it done right now. Knock it out real quick. Let me pause this. It was a good transition since the song ended anyway. Let's hop into Audacity real quick and open up a new one. And I'm just going to record some audio. I want to do that again, because I had like a raspy little... I don't want it to sound like someone doing that on a microphone. Okay, clip the very end where the keyboard could be heard. Clip maybe the very beginning, and then normalize this entire thing. Okay, we got to get rid of the white noise. So what I'm going to do right here is select this little section where you hear the just random noise, right? And I'm going to go to noise reduction. I'm going to select this as get noise profile. And then I'm going to select the entire piece. And I'm going to do the same thing, noise reduction, but instead of getting another profile, we're going to use that profile and we're going to reduce, I guess 9 dB, the default sensitivity 6. We're going to reduce. And that should get rid of some of it. And then I'm going to get rid of the end by clipping it, and the beginning by clipping it. And then I'm going to do a fade out right here, and then a quick fade in where it ramps up. Awesome. Now let's make it less, let's normalize it. Again, wait, actually we just normalized it. So let's limit it once and normalize it so it sounds equal on both channels, because I can see that one track is louder than the other, so we're going to normalize that. And actually I'm going to have to do that one more time. Limit to -3, normalize to 0. We lost a little bit of that, but it should sound okay. The engine is going to let us change the pitch of this a little bit, so that's going to help as well. But let's give it a little bit of, what if we reverse it? We need to fade out a little bit more, don't we? We need a longer fade out. So let's go and select a little bit, fade out right here, and listen to the entire thing again. Reversing it seemed to do a better trick. The problem is it's going to repeat that over and over and over, so let's give it a longer fade out. Sounds too much like a sound effect playing than a ME, or than a BGS. I'll do some chorus on it as well. That's better. That's better. What if we do a chorus? Do we want to chorus this? I don't know if we do, but I'm going to listen to it with some sort of reverb, I suppose. It definitely sounds better with a little bit of juicy reverb on it. I kind of feel like it needs more, though. I'm going to just leave it at this, and I'll probably spend some more time on it later. But let's export this as Drafty Tunnel BGS. Or I should preface this with BGS. Background sound, Drafty Tunnel 01. Save that in sound effects. Okay, that'll work. Let's go ahead and get our music back up and running. Nice Octopath Traveler. Sounds like a big monster breathing in a cave. Pick this up and this up. Slow it down and raise the pitch. Yeah, what if I slow it down? Huh. I exported it as that. Let's slow it down and then export it as number 2. Let's do a Paul stretch. Actually, let's do a long Paul stretch. So generate Paul stretch. Stretch factor, let's say 10. I'm starting a project in RPG Maker MV and I don't know where to start. Any advice? This is a creepy BGS. Yo. It sounds creepy. Now that's a BGS right there. It's 1:06. I'm going to take that. That's awesome. All right. Export audio. This is more than a drafty tunnel, but I don't know what else to call it. We're just going to leave it at that. That's a crazy one. The Paul stretch is great for making the BGS for those of you using Audacity. Free to use tool. Audacity is fantastic. Highly recommend you check out Audacity. If you're not using it to make sound effects, it's easy to do. Alright, we need to import these. So let's go ahead and go here, get these drafty tunnel ones, copy them, and put them inside of audio BGS. I don't know where I'm going to use that. I was looking for something to do with the weather system that we have. For now, I guess I'm just going to do a wind, built-in wind one. I also want to set it up so that on our transfer event, real quick, before I forget, because I keep forgetting to do this, on our transfer zoom, instead of setting ME, we need to set BGS, not ME. It's called background sound. So we're going to fade out background sound over the next 2 seconds. Alright, so we're fading out the background sound over 2 seconds whenever we do a transfer. Actually, we can fade it out over 1 second, because it might actually replay again. I don't want that to be jarring. So we're going to decide to play background sound. The regular, like this is going to, I like this one. For when it's really coming down. Oh wait, this is for snow. So I'm going to cut this one for when it's stormy. And then when it's play background sound for, you know, snowing doesn't really take a lot. So what we're going to do is turn the volume down on all of them actually. I'm thinking starting at 50 and then for snow we'll go lower. And for the storm, we'll set this to 50. We'll copy this one, paste it here for when it's raining, but not as much. It's a little bit of white noise. I kind of like it. But this is our random weather patterns. I've copied this all over the place, so I sort of need to propagate this as well, don't I? So let's go for right here on the maps. Actually, I want to test it. I'm going to use this as a test map. If I like the numbers, the volume levels that I see while I'm messing around with the events in this town, I'll propagate those over into the world map. Because if we look at the world map, it's doing the same thing at some level right here, where I'm setting the weathers and the tent screen and whatnot, but I haven't done the sound effects yet. So we'll do our testing for the third thing, weather, tent, and then now the background sound on this map. And we get the pitches, the volume levels just right, and then we'll propagate them to the other maps once we've set them up. And they're all being terminated upon the transfer zoom event, common event that's being called with all the transfers that's happening as a common event. Don't want to miss out on chat. Hold up, hold up. Hello, Kalon Fest. How are you doing? Thanks for coming to the live stream. It sounds like a wraith. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Devin asks, in general, what am I working on today? I'll talk about it in a second. Bubbly says, sounds better with reverb. I agree. I want to go back to the general question that was asked. Can someone show me how to make a power-up like the game Umi Nikki? I don't know Chaos Theory. I've never played that game. I'll have to check it out later. So, okay, I'm going to get to the Humble Nerd next. Devin, basically, it's just adding more events, finishing the event, Wasif's event, the Woodworker, that unlocks the boat so that the player can actually go to the world map and sail around in the shallows with the boat and actually get to the second island where we're going to have 2 more caves, 2 or 3 even, probably just 2, harvesting nodes for like different lumber, high quality lumber, and then we need to add another town here, but you need the boat to get there. So we've kind of done a lot to this island and got it in a decent playable spot. There's a few more things that need to be done, obviously, but this is giving the player the first vehicle, so I'm kind of incorporating that into the game now. We've done an event yesterday that set up the foundation for this, the processing of the lumber to turn it into something that can be used to craft the boat. We put in some arbitrary numbers that are going to be tweaked, most likely. And once the player meets the requirements for having all of the stuff, they'll be able to unlock the boat, which is what we're going to set up right here. So we've unlocked the thing. I don't think we need to have our... We can stop our BGS now. Just sounds like a microphone with loud white noise. Humble Nerd. Starting a project MV, don't know where to start. I should just start at the beginning then. I don't know, what kind of game are you inspired like? Like, what are your favorite inspirations? Take a feature from those inspirations, and then just do one little thing. You're trying to make a game. You're starting from the beginning. Don't try to make... I mean, this is a debatable subject. You can try to make your masterpiece, but honestly, in a month from now, you're going to hate all the work you do. So, I would say, try to do one feature. Try to make a movement sequence. Try to make an opening sequence that's not just a bunch of show text, right? You're not going to challenge yourself. You're not challenging yourself if everything is just show text after show text. Make a movement sequence where you have more than one thing happening at the same time. Familiarize yourself with parallel processes. Let me go to the test map. Make a new test map. Test idea thing. Majig. Da, 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 da. I'm actually going to use the RTP for you. Here we go. So the first thing that you should do is make a sequence. Understand how to do a sequence. Let's paint the ground. Familiarize yourself with the engine and the tools. Learn how to draw a simple map, a box map. Don't worry about it. Just make a box map. Use the tools. You see this is that. This is this. This is this. And then you can fill it in like that. Alright, so we're going to make a quick little area where we have a scene. So we're going to put some tiles down, and then we're going to draw some walls. Very, very simple. We're going to make some walls like this. Remember, you can right-click anywhere to change what you have selected. So if I want to change, like, to the floor, I can go right-click on the floor and left-click to draw. Or if I want to draw the wall, I can right-click on the wall and draw that where I want to go. Let's make a character walk up while 3 characters are walking to the right. We're going to right-click and create a new event. This is going to make an image, and we're going to pick any image we want. We're going to start like this, and then we're going to make this an auto-run event. Auto-run event is going to just happen right at the beginning. So what this is going to do is start a movement route. So this event is going to do something. We're going to make it move up 5 times, or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 or 10 times, right? We're going to make it move up 10 times. It's going to wait, right? What we're going to do is we're going to uncheck wait for completion, because we want to have parallel processes happening. So as this is moving up, we're going to do a parallel process. This event is going to be another guy that walks to the right. Movement route, this event is going to move to the right. And we're not going to wait for it. It's a parallel. And then once it's done, we need to switch pages. Understand how pages work. So pages are going to read the highest number, and then if the conditions are not met, it'll go down to the next number. So we're going to copy this, paste this, but we're going to delete the move event. And we're going to turn on a self switch at the end of this page. Because what this is going to do is allow us to set this as the condition for the second page, where we can set this to action button. So we're having this guy move, and then when he's done moving, it's going to go to this one. It's going to try to run page 2 first, but self switch A is not on, so it won't work. It's going to jump to page 1 then, where it says all the conditions are met, so make this guy move to the right, and then turn on the switch. Parallel is going to happen while other stuff is going on. So understanding these parallels is going to help. We're going to copy this event. You can also copy events with Control-C and Control-V. We're going to simply edit the way that it looks. Boom. The same thing is happening here. And we're going to put the player down right here. If you want to start your sequence, like your game, where there's something happening, in the database, you can go Start Transparent. And this makes the character invisible. Alright, so we're just going to put the player right here. So we have an auto run playing right here. Now the auto run is going to stop the player from moving around and doing things and interrupting things. It's going to make this happen, but this is going to happen, but it's not going to wait for it. So what's going to happen is it's going to finish movement. It's going to end that really quickly. It's going to keep moving, and then these parallels should happen at the same time. So let's see what happens if this runs like this. Now you can see 2 things are happening at the same time. You've got somebody moving up and somebody moving to the left. We're going to move the player up a little bit so we can see a little bit better. You see how we have multiple things happening at the same time? Challenge yourself to make that happen. And then we actually have control of the player. We can move around. Actually, we can't yet because this auto run is not terminated. What's happening is the game is going to lock up if you have an auto run that's happening. So it's going to keep moving up, keep moving up. What you need to do is a self switch like I did with the other ones. Control a self switch A. We'll copy this, paste this. We can delete all of this that's going on here. Now we've changed the trigger to action button. And we can actually make them turn around and face this way so we know when it's completed. Now that we have no more now we have no more auto run happening, the player will be visible. So what we can do is say, when this turns on, we're going to change the transparency. When you're done with your sequence at the beginning, you can change your transparency. I'm trying to find where that's at. change transparency to off. Now we take the transparency off, which means we're now visible. This is not going to affect this event, it's going to affect the player. So once this auto run has taken place and it's switched paged, you'll see the player. This player will face down and you'll see the player. Oh, I messed up. You have to set the second page conditions to have that switch be on. Or it'll read page 2. That event was blank because page 2 met all the conditions. So now we have multiple stuff happening. And we can move around. If we allow this to wait, let's just see what happens. Right. So we're making this auto run wait, so the player's transparency won't turn on until that's finished. Once it's finished, you see she face down and the transparency turned off. These parallel processes happen alongside auto run events and anything else that's happening. So even though this is auto run and it's locking the player up, parallel processes events will continue to happen. So if you're just starting, understand that and try to make sequences where multiple things are happening at the same time, but you're not locking up the player afterwards, right? At this point, you could just simply fade out the screen. Let's finish this sequence. Like, there's text here. After this happens, before the transparency, there's intro text. Keep it short. And then we can fade out the screen. And then what you would do here is you would transfer the player by doing transfer player to a different location, right? You transfer the player to another map or whatever, but I don't really want to make another map for that. So what I'll do is put in a quick text transfer player here. Turn transparency off, and then you want to fade in the screen. Remember to fade in the screen if you faded out the screen. So then make something like this of your own. I would challenge you to do this at the beginning when you're first learning how to. Don't worry about the maps, don't worry about the sprites. Intro text, blah 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 blah, stuff's happening, the screen's moving. You could even mess with panning the camera. Keep it real short. Fade out the screen, transfer the player, and then, you know, there's the beginning of your game. Make your intro scene. So that's what you should start with. And then after you get that down, start working on switches, on variables. We already looked at how to do switches on self switches, right? At the end, we're turning a self switch on, and it's going to try to run page 2 at the beginning, remember? But because self switch A is not on, it can't run it. Then it's going to go to page 1 and try to run that. So if you remember your order of operations, then you shouldn't have a problem. Good luck. If you have any questions, there's a link in the description of this video, live stream, for the Discord, where there's hundreds of people. They're very helpful devs, and if you have questions, I'm sure a lot of people would give you some feedback. Have fun with it. Try to keep having fun with it. It's really important too. Make some maps and try to do some eventing. I would really recommend that, Humble Nerd. Vincent says a neat trick for camera panning is to move your invisible player while there's a body double on the cutscene. That's a good idea too. Another thing that a lot of people do is they'll copy a map for the cutscene only. So you have your main map, like your village or whatever, but then you have a copied version of it, or even a section of it, where the player is going to have their cutscene take place. So you can secretly fade out, transfer the player to the same map. You know, you're not really transferring the player, but, I mean, you really are transferring your player, but the player is not... the player doesn't realize that they've been transferred to another map. It just, the scene is taking place now because it's a replica of the map they were just on. But this lets you have multiple parallel processes without as many switch conditions. So you can make copies of your maps for the cutscenes themselves. I like doing that method for bigger cutscenes. Don't forget to turn back on collision when you're restoring control of the player. It's true. Also, NPC emotions and actions using doodads. You can also do balloon icons. There's balloon icons right here. Page 2 character, you can make the player have an exclamation point, question mark, and you can. There's even a plugin that lets you put any icon you want for like balloon icons. It's pretty cool. I'm almost out of time, guys. I'm gonna jump back to what I was working on. I would like to finish this very quickly, if at all possible. So inside our port town, after he says you've unlocked the thing, we're going to do a show text, which is dim middle without any name and out any pop window. It's just going to say you've unlocked the boat. And this is going to be the sound effect's going to, the music effect is going to play while this is going on. So you're going to hear it, and then you're going to see the text. And then after that, we're going to do a movement event with this guy. Wasif is going to move. Let's just take a guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then move up, up, up. So we went 8, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Okay, the third one will lock it up. But what we'll do is have him move up twice, and then we'll have him erase event. Actually, we don't need to erase event. What we're going to do is, because we don't want him to come back, right? There's also a switch condition. So we need to turn on the switch condition that this is after the basic boat has been unlocked. It does this when you walk outside. So you see him go out the door, and then you see him over there saying, hey, it looks like it's floating, blah, blah, blah. You got it. You get your effects. We can even do an animation real quick. Show an animation but not wait. So let's put an animation on this event. On disembark, yeah. And we'll make a quick animation. 241. Wait for it. Not wait for it to complete. Yeah, it's not going to wait. It's going to play the animation, play the sound effect, show the text you've unlocked the boat. All at once. Try to give some immersion. Let's make a quick animation. I'm going to pick something super fast. Yep, that's good. That's what we're doing. Copy this one. Go down here. Paste it here. We're going to change these images to Hadeson's amazing stuff. Guys, check out Hadeson's Patreon. We don't want that. We don't need thunder. Let's change this sound effect to something different. Coin. And then at the end, yeah, that's awesome. And this is got boat. I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to get it done here. We're gonna have it play right there. I feel like that might be a little big. We can edit the animation, not worried about it. What we need to do is change this to self switch A now. Control to self switch A. What do we got here? Gotta go. Okay, turning to self switch A on. We're gonna do a new page. Self switch A is on. This will be below characters, so it won't do anything. Actually, what we're gonna do is before we we're gonna do self switch A on, but we're actually going to move this event out of the way. So we're gonna set event location to this current map, but we're gonna put him all the way over here. Right? And you're going to think, oh, he's just going to look like that? It's going to disappear really quickly. So we're going to set this event location and then control self switch A on, which will make him disappear. So there's an invisible event over there now, which is not going to bother anything. And this is going to be auto run. This is going to actually auto run. When the player walks outside, this is going to happen. Oh, he won't be able to walk up twice because the player is going to be right there. So what we'll do is make a move event. He's going to walk. He's going to walk up once. Then we'll do another move event where the player walks to the right and then walks down. And then he, another move event, walks up again. This event moves up. So he's going to be going up. The player goes here, here. He goes up and disappears. We can also play a sound effect, a door sound effect. When he walks up before we change his location, we're going to play a door sound effect. Play SE. There we go. Okay, we need to test this real quick. Gotta test it very quick. We need to change our transparency to be back on because we're not doing that anymore. Or transparency off so our visibility is back on. Go inside of here. Set the player's starting position. Also, one more event we forgot. I need to make so we can set the location. We're going to set vehicle start location. Set vehicle location of the boat on the world map right here. Boom. So now that'll be there. And then if we say disembark from this event, then we transfer the player to the world map right there facing down. Fade to white. Direction facing down. Actually, we fade out. We play a sound effect of like water. Whoa. And then we're going to fade in. All right, let's test this very quickly. This has got to work. Gotta make this work. Alright, we're gonna build a boat. Yep, got him to build the boat for us. Take care, humble nerd. Hope to see you on the next live stream. That ought to do. Let's see if she float. We'll check the movement routes. Make sure that there's no errors. If there's an error in the movement route, it's going to be a game-breaking bug, most likely. It looks like she'll do the job. Congratulations, mate. You got yourself a boat. Come back anytime if you need some wood cut. You've unlocked the boat. Oh, I messed up the event. Okay. This event should be right here on this event. The movement route should be this event, not player. This one's the player. This one's back to this event. This one's back to this event. Alright, alright, alright. That's why we test it. Simple little bug. Build a boat! Pay for the boat. He smashes on a table and we have a boat. That's how games are made. That's how boats are made. Looks like she'll do the job. Congratulations, mate. You got yourself a boat. Come back anytime if you need some wood cut. Hey, that looked good. The door didn't open, but I'm okay with that. Oh, gosh. This needs to be same level as character because it's below character. It does that by default. That's fine. Little bugs, so we test it. Alright, let's rush through it. No, nope, different event. Here we go. I want to build a boat. I got the stuff. Make it happen. You really like the guitar effects? Thank you, Vincent. Let's see how it sounds in game. We're going to have a background music playing. So, you know, it might interfere with that, but maybe the ME causes it to be quiet. I think the ME silences the BGM. The weather's randomized, so we're getting different rain and snow depending on what it rolls. So the move event's happening while the ME is playing, and then we go right here. If we stay put, nothing happens. If we disembark, we got the boat, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. I'm happy. I'm happy we got this done finally. Took a while to make all of that work. And we're not done in the town. We have more events to do in the town. I've got to make a little bit more, like with the event that's happening at the chef's event, so that he actually serves a table and sells good and shop processing and whatnot. So we got to touch that up. And then we also need to make the general store. Some new items that could be sold at the general store. Then we're going to be looking at this island, putting a little mine here, and maybe another mine here, and then probably a logging spot here or here, and then another one up here somewhere, so that you can start claiming more resource nodes. So we're going to be looking more at the sim aspect of the game in the next coming episodes. We got to build a town here. I'm going to put another town here with the docks that goes down here, where we're going to do the same process, but more NPCs, more events, more buildings, and actually requiring more resources to build a bigger ship that lets us sail not only in the shallows like this one does, but over the entire map. But that'll be a while before we get that section. I mean, there's just so many things to do. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the live stream. I really appreciate it. I have to go. Sorry for the late start. My entire driveway was covered with ice. There was delays on everything going on. But anyway, come join me tomorrow, hopefully 10 a.m. I'll mention the Discord, you know, an hour, 45 minutes before, an hour or 45 minutes before, to let you know if there's any changes. Usually it is 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to follow me on Twitch, that's very appreciated. If you would like to follow what I'm doing, join the Discord, links in the description below. If you would like to play the last game I released for free, you can do that at driftwoodgaming.com/games. If you would like to support what I do, I have a Patreon. You can visit patreon.com/driftwoodgaming if you would like to see what I offer. There's reward tiers. Yeah, if you want me to play your game and critique it, that is the service that I offer there on the Patreon. Flash 15X, don't worry about it. Don't worry, the video is going to be uploaded on YouTube. You can also like this video if you're not watching it live. I really appreciate that. Or if you are watching it live, like the live stream, I really appreciate that. You can join me on the gaming side of YouTube, gaming.youtube.com/driftwoodgamingmv. You can become a member and get cool emotes. Driftwood G logo, and Driftwood G crown, and Driftwood G ooh la la, and Driftwood GT. And if I get one more member, I can add another emote. But thank you everybody who's shown your support over the live streams. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to share what you are doing, you can share your work in Discord. and just check out what everybody else is up to. If you need a place to self-promote, you need to promote yourself, self-promote, we've got a chat in the Discord where you can, a old channel for where you can just promote your stuff and no one's really going to give you anything for it. No one's going to give you any guff. Anyway, Devin Scott, no! Ice Driver. Yeah, there was a plow that got tipped over this morning. A snow plow got tipped over in the snow. So there's a thing that happened. Alright guys, gotta go. Love you very much. Mwah. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.